Welcome to the Great Lakes Herb Fair Roundtable, Rosalee.
Oh, pleasure to be here. And yay, love the puppet backstage chatter. Always a pleasure, Jim.
Well,
Hi,
well, Rosalee, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you have to offer for in the realm of herbalism?
Thanks for narrowing that down, Mason, because at first it felt kind of intimidating. What are your inner gifts, Rosalie? I don't know, Mason. Well, I'm an herbalist, not surprising. I am a teacher most of the time, author of a couple of books, and a podcast host as well. Pretty much, like many of us, my life just revolves around the plants day in and day out. Wouldn't have it any other way.
And that's the Herbs with Rosalee podcast, of which I've been a guest on. You've been a guest on the Herbalist Hour. I want to say this is actually your third time on the show now, Rosalee.
Sweet.
Yeah, I know.
Here's
It's a
to many more,
record.
Mason.
That's right. Well, awesome. This will be your first time at the Great Lakes Herb Fair. What are you looking forward to the most?
Oh my gosh, I have wanted to go to this fair for so long, but just, no one ever mentioned it to me, and no one ever said, Rosalie, you should come. So I just kind of
Yeah.
looked from afar,
that is really
and just
very
wished.
that is really very not true.
Does Jim get to interrupt? I don't know. I think this is my story time. So
Okay.
yeah, no one invited me. I don't think people really wanted me there. So um, I am really looking forward to it because it's interesting that it's a bioregional fair, but the word about it just has spread, I feel like, across everywhere. And I hear about it from so many different places about what a meaningful gathering it is, what a wonderful gathering it is. So I feel like it's like Great Lakes just really shines as one of like, even though it's bioregional, it shines as this national fair that people are really excited about. So I'm excited to finally go see what all the hype's about and be able to participate. And yeah, it was just great to finally have someone ask me to come.
Um, well, Rosalie, I know you're one of the pulling
Oh,
up a
you keep.
picture here.
There we go.
Oh, there you go. Puppets. Rosalie, I know you're one of the two keynotes at this year's event. Do you have any idea what you'll be doing a keynote on this time around?
I definitely have some vague ideas about what I'm going to be presenting. And yeah, feeling super honored to be doing one of the evening presentations alongside Mark, who's a fabulous herbalist botanist. And yeah, so the working title is What If Everyone Was an Herbalist? And we're going to
Mm.
spend some time dreaming together what that might mean if everyone was an herbalist. What would that mean if we were all plant-centered? What are the lessons from the plants that we learn? What would that mean for our personal health, our community health, our planetary health? So
I love when keynotes, especially at herb conferences, are of more of like the inspirational vein as opposed to, just kind of teaching about, say, nervines and whatnot. But yeah, so I'm really excited to check out that keynote. And just for the listener, Rosalie's an amazing public speaker. I know you take it very seriously. You prepare, you practice. I want to say you've even hired speaking coaches and whatnot before. So just be ready for a fantastic keynote. What are some of the other classes you'll be teaching at the fair?
Well, I have sent in another couple of proposals, but I don't know which ones are accepted, or maybe they're not going to be accepted, looks like Jim is commenting. So I don't know. Can you edit this out if it doesn't make the
100%.
all right,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Um, one of my proposed classes is kind of a group workshop experience where we're going to be tasting a series of herbs together and then sharing our felt experiences, to seeing commonalities, seeing differences, and just understanding how we can use both taste of an herb, but also the sensations we feel to understand that herb better, how we might use it for ourselves, for others, etc. So I think that would be really fun.
Totally.
And so I'll be passing around extracts, both tinctures and glycerites, so that we can all have a little taste and then share together.
Mm.
This is the proposal about Senna, right?
Yes, we're doing Senna, Cascara, Sagrada, and aloe leaf. We're going to compare aloe leaf to aloe gel. I think that's a distinction people should know, like embodied. No, we're not doing that, Jim. No one's going to come to my class now, Jim. I'll sit there all by myself because they're all afraid. Um, and see, he's trouble, Mason. You're the one that invited him.
I know. I don't know. I did that. I should have known better.
Um,
Go to Rosalee's classes.
and the other proposal, which I think only one is being pondered. So, but one of these, another class I proposed is the Ask Me Anything Herbal Business class, where people can come. Mason, you know this. When I get talking about business, marketing, I like you can't shut me up. I love to do it. Day and night. My poor husband, he gets a lot of it. Just, breakfast times together, just on and on, Rosalee talking about business, marketing. So I just thought, well, we could do that together. And I would just love to share what I've learned over the past 15 years of owning an herbal business. Just want to share what I've learned and help other people wade through those glorious weeds of getting things going.
So it sounds like that'll be a presentation, but you're also going to open it up to the audience to ask lots of questions as well.
It's all going to be questions.
All Q&A. Wow, that sounds awesome. I'll definitely try to make that one. I don't think I went to a single class last year, so I'll have to change that this coming up event. But
for the keynote, there has literally not been a day I haven't thought about the keynote since Jim proposed that last fall. So I'm really like kind of putting a lot of my eggs in that basket of just really wanting to. And like you said, I take it very seriously. I'll be practicing, be working on it extensively. So these other classes I thought would be fun to have just kind of more group participation and more facilitated rather than like didactic teaching, which will kind of be more of the keynote.
You'll also be celebrating a birthday during that weekend as well,
Mason.
Which is super exciting. Well, that's a lot of fun. And I know part of the reason you weren't able to travel during this time of year was because of the fires in the Pacific Northwest. So it sounds like Xavier's going to be able to hold down the fort while you're gone then.
So I would ask that everyone crosses their fingers for sure.
Yeah, totally.
So we've been at a conference together in late August when I had fires encroaching towards my house, and that wasn't fun. No. I decided I just don't want that to ever happen again. So let's just all envision a wonderful summer without raging wildfires. So
there you go.
Blue skies. Envision the blue skies.
You should do a class on like envisioning fires not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be that would go over really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll talk a lot about demulcents and.
Well, you do have a class on that. I want to say.
I do have a class on wildfire smoke.
Yeah, wildfire. That's right. Yep. Awesome. Well, Rosalee, what is one thing that you love about being an herbalist?
Just one, Mason.
What is two things you love? What are two things you love about being an herbalist?
Mason and Jim. Those are two things.
Right on.
Yeah. All right. I'll take it.
I would say first and foremost, it's the connection to the plants. And I was really lucky. My beginning herbal studies were field studies. And so I learned the plants with the plants. And before that, didn't like know the green world. I had that proverbial like wall of green. I didn't know really anything about the plants. And so they really just came to life. And now I cannot imagine like walking out into a landscape and not seeing the stories there. Stories of the plants, the stories of the animals, the insects, the people, how they all intersect in these beautiful ecosystems. And then to be able to participate in that, I think is so important for me and so important for humans that we don't just observe what's going on out there, but that we can actually participate in it as we should to help better the world and just add our own original imprints of tending out there. So I love the connection to the plants themselves. And then of course, the healing qualities of them. Like earlier today, I had a massive headache and I was like, oh, am I really going to talk to Mason today with a big smile on my face? Because I have this massive headache and I relied upon wood betony and some movement, and my headache went from like being a 7 to like a 1. So I'm here smiling, grateful
Herbs
for
work.
The plants. Yeah. And of course, that's just like today, but they've seen some pretty profound healing in my life because of the herbs.
Amazing. Great answer, Rosalee. Where can folks learn more about you and your work?
Best place is herbswithrosalee.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And again, dear listener, you're a podcast listener if you're listening to this. So Herbs with Rosalee on your podcast player of choice. And really looking forward to hanging out with you at the Great Lakes Herb Fair, Rosalee.
Likewise to you both.
Yeah. Well, any final words before we wrap up and get out of here? These are the last two interviews for the roundtable. So anything else you want to impart to the audience? Either of you is fine.
I would say stick around for Saturday night because
Mm.
we'll have music and festivities, and rumor has it that Rosalee is going to be performing a bunch of her favorite Tory songs
Yeah.
for everyone, unabashedly.
Amazing.
Like it'll be incredible.
Right.
And you
Yeah,
haven't done that at any other herb conference, right?
it's true. It's true.
Live
Yeah.
Tory performances.
Yeah. So thanks so much, Mason, for Jim joining us today, because now I'm singing a soprano Toremus and teaching a felt experience of Senna. So this is going to be a really great conference and fair. I
You're
can't
most
wait.
welcome.
Yeah.
Awesome, y'all. Well, thanks again for joining us on the show, and looking forward to seeing everybody at the Great Lakes Herb Fair. You can learn more about that at greatlatesherbfair.org, and that's fair with an E, everybody. So really looking forward to it, y'all.
Likewise.
Awesome.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo. Bye-bye.
MREA.